circler, or one who helps, one who is an aid, a help, and a relief. So a woman is supposed to be an aid, a help, and a relief, and being a circler or aid and a help and a relief is one of the attributes of being feminine. And through that being that aid and a help and relief would be caring, would be deference, and would be gentleness. You have to realize something. That man got to carry the whole family and the world on his shoulders. That doesn't denote what the woman is doing to make it any lesser. See, that's the, and see that comes from society. Society is trying to make it seem like people are trying to say, because that's European culture. They view their women as like. Remember I told y'all that's why the men made gymnasiums and they came up with Saturnalia, because they didn't see their wives or their women as their intellectual equals. You have to learn to separate Anglo-Saxon ideals away from what godly ideals were and how we operated before we came across these people. They denigrated women. They looked down on women. They had an issue what women did because they had latent homosexual tendencies. When you have latent homosexual tendencies, then you tend to despise women. You know what I'm saying? If you overly love women, you might be gay on that end. It's a good balance where an individual has a healthy love and respect for women and what they do. When I say love, I'm talking about over the top. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes who be like, I love the black women, they be over the top. You end up finding out they be gay later on down the line. Because they really want to be women. So that's what I'm talking about, overcompensation. When anytime you see some overcompensation, there's an insecurity in something that person is trying to hide through the overcompensation. Any real man is going to love a woman and is going to respect a woman, irregardless to who that woman is to him. He's going to have a natural, let us hear right. I can honestly say, I was thinking about it, right? You know, my mama was not a masculine woman. Did she yell at times? Absolutely. My mama never emasculated me. I can never recall a time in my upbringing where my mama emasculated me. You know what I'm saying? My mama never told me I was dumb. She never called me anything disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Never said nothing hurtful to me in my formative years that I can recall. Ever. If I was wrong, she told me why I was wrong, and then she told me why my behavior was unacceptable and that she was disappointed in such behavior. You know what I'm saying? Never belittled me. Definitely never belittled me in public, but if I needed to be corrected and held accountable, she did that. You know what I'm saying? But she never emasculated me. And that's one of the reasons why I was able to grow up and be a confident individual, because she never took that from me. And I can only say that because I only had Joanne for 6 years, but just knowing the fact that my grandma taught them, because my mama told me this when I was little, to never call a child bad, because they will remember what you say and believe what you say, that let me know my grandma was a feminine woman. You know what I'm saying? And if my grandma was a feminine woman, then 9 times out of 10, I know she taught them to do the same, because my auntie was not a masculine woman. You know what I'm saying? And that don't mean a lot. It means a lot. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot.
Especially to the upraising of kids.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what we don't realize. And that's why we focusing on it. Like I say, the masculine means a lot. It means a whole lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It means a whole lot.
That counterbalance, though.
Because of the counterbalance. Because they work, they complement. The masculine, we finna read it, the masculine complements the feminine. Because he said there wasn't a helpmeet, there wasn't an aid or a help for him. So I don't want him out here by himself. Right. Let me make someone a helpmeet for him. That's meat for him. That's going to be proper. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I say, we have the Anglo-Saxon ideal of you're taught to cater to a woman's every whim. You know what I'm saying? Everything she want got to be done. They came up with happy wife, happy life, all this other type of stuff. When all that is that makes a man drop down in his masculine to be feminine, and it allows the woman to raise up in her masculine. Does that mean that a man don't do nothing for his woman? No, that's not what that means. but they got you overcompensating. You know what I'm saying? And what does that lead to? It leads to a generation of women who end up becoming entitled and selfish. And then say when you don't do this, or they define what a good man is based on at what point they are in their life and what they want. You know what I'm saying? A good man is a good man regardless. But see, we not want to be good men. We want to be righteous men. And no man or woman can define that. You don't want to be a good woman. You want to be a virtuous woman. No man or woman can define that. Your Elohim defines that. And when that's defined, that's a solidified case. And that's why they want to throw this book out. Because they hate him. And they hate his standard. And they hate his accountability. So if I can remove it, then you'll hate it. And you won't walk in it. Remember we said we know the, what did Paul put it? We're not ignorant of Hashatan's devices. Meaning his plans and his imaginations. I'm not ignorant. I know what he's doing. And when you know what he's doing, then you know how to combat it. But you got to put your ego to the side. If your heart get pricked, your heart just get pricked. And you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't be walking around here, that ain't right. He talking bad about women. No, we talking bad about wicked women. If you're not a wicked woman, that don't apply to you. If you seeking to be more feminine, then this is to strengthen you in the area where you're going. If you're not a masculine man, that don't apply to you. And if you want to be strengthened, you're going to do what you need to do to be a masculine man. This is about growth and elevation, because I'm telling you, the stuff that we carry with us is what's stopping you from getting the ruach. So if I have to, I used to say this a lot, I ain't said it in a while, I don't care if you like me. I'm not really, I'm going to tell you like my mama used to tell me, I'm not here to be your friend. It's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the purpose of raising individuals spiritually to be grown men and women in the Lord. So I'm not here to be your friend, and I'm not here to be liked. You know what I'm saying? But if by the grace of the living Elohim, one person's soul is delivered by receiving the Ruach, then my job was complete. And that's it. I say, and I'm not, I just mellowed out because I got old. You know what I'm saying? I call myself saying, you know what, let's be harsh as you were in your early 30s, but I just don't have the energy. Genesis 2:21. And Yahuwah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which Yahuwah had taken from man, made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. They were both naked, and the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So look at what he did, right? He said, this bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Now, let's do this like this here. Ephesians 5, just on general. So if she's bone of bone and flesh of flesh, a man can't be offended at his wife. Because if the woman came out of the man, that means that feminine aspect was removed from this man. So meaning that the whole time that the balance of the feminine to the masculine was there the whole time. Not the yin and the yang stuff and all this other stuff niggas be coming with. Because male and female made he them, and he called their name Adam, because the woman came, that's what the law said in Genesis 5, that woman came out of this man. So this man got the help that he needed from himself. That's why you could never hate your wife or hate your women. I mean, you hate yourself. And vice versa. If the woman hate the man, baby, you hate what you emanated from. You hate yourself. And guess what? That's the problem we have in our community. People hate themselves. So when you see this man, he's a reflection of you, and you hate him because you hate yourself, and vice versa. Because usually human beings project onto other people how they feel about themselves. If you're insecure, you're going to project insecurities on who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You jealous, you're going to constantly accuse them of doing something because you're projecting how you feel. If you're not confident in yourself, then you're going to tell me, you can never accomplish that. You can't do that, because you're projecting onto them how you feel. If you do that, what if this happened? And what if this happened? You're fearful. You're projecting that on me. But if you're confident, then guess what you're going to do? Oh, well, you can do that. There ain't no problem. There ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. You can handle that. I know you can do it. Let me know what you need from me. Because that's how that person feel about themselves. So they're going to project that onto you. Somebody love you, they'll do things for you without you asking. They'll see something and think about you and grab it. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how they feel about themselves. So they're projecting that onto you. See, we ain't never looked, because ain't nobody never told us that. Guess what? 1 John chapter 3 say, what manner of love has the Father bestowed upon us, that we might be called the sons of Elohim. And you know why that? Because what did 1 John 4 say? And I'm quoting it because you know my page going in that, and I don't feel like getting up and grabbing another book. It said Elohim is love. So because Elohim is love, he projected that on you by sending his son to be sacrificed. Because that's how he feels about himself. He is love. So he can't do nothing other than project that onto you. Because you were fearful and unbelieving, that's what you projected upon your prophets, who he sent unto you. Because that's how you felt about yourself. Well, I said we're going to finish that.
Yeah, bro.
And y'all making too much noise. Truth be told, all y'all need to come in here and sit down. So that's what you finna do. And playtime over with. That means you, Sire. That means you, Mark. Oh, I guess y'all thought I was just making a suggestion. I'm not making a suggestion. That definitely was a direct order there, a directive, a mandate, if you will. Ephesians 5 and 29 or 28. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loved his wife loved himself. For no man yet hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, even as the master of the house. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. So that's the cause. That's what we end up having. So when we see this lack of femininity, and we see this lack of masculinity, it's a lack of love that we have for ourselves. And we can never love ourselves. We can never love anyone else until we love ourselves. You can't even love your who until you love yourself. You're not going to be able to do that. Let me show y'all the attributes of a masculine woman. Proverbs chapter 7. Let's look at old masculine woman. Let's look at the type of woman y'all tells you to stay away from. You know, the book of Proverbs, you know I told you this before, you know what the book of Proverbs tell you to do with a woman who like to have strife and contention. You know what the book say, right? Any of y'all on here know what it say? Somebody throw that out there. Anybody know what it say? The book say you ought to do if you got a contentious or strife-filled woman. Who know what the words say when it comes up? The word says that a man should do, it's better for a man to do something if his wife is contentious or strife-filled.
Oh, is that the sit on the corner of the house? Or the roof? Something.
He said it's better for you to live on your
Rooftop, yeah.
You know why it's like that? Because ain't no masculine man going for that. I just had somebody tell me something that's it, right on trend. That's similar to that. You know how serious it, you know how a lot of women be like, oh, he left me. You know why some niggas leave? Because they would rather be broke and pay alimony and child support than live with you for one more month. You know what I'm saying? I had a brother tell me something so serious that a man literally moved to live in another state and pay 2 sets of bills and live with his wife.
Huh?
Do you know what I'm saying? And that threw me because that says a lot. Let me ask y'all something. Any man on here, any man can answer. If you got a woman, right? Let's put the food to the side. That's your wife. That is sex on demand. Dudes ain't finna leave no. Like I said, I know I can go home and have sex every night. And I don't even want to come home. I done know dudes who was like, well, I don't want to go home. Because I got to deal with this hoe. I'm like, hey, you feel like that? I'm like, shoot, well, I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? But it comes from this woman is masculine. And the word teaching is here. Like Yah is teaching his son. Don't you sit around here dealing with no masculine woman. That man say it's better for you to sleep on the roof of your house than to deal with a masculine woman. I can't remember what the verse is for it. I need to put it. See, that make you think for a minute, though. You know why it make us think? Because we ain't never thought about it before, what he was really trying to impart. We was just like, oh, he said it's better than living alone.
That's how I took when I first read it.
Come over here to Proverbs 25. There you go. Proverbs 25. Proverbs 25 is about 24. It's just something to consider. Now this is and I'm really want to tell you because Yah is the most masculine man. Yahusha are the most masculine men you will ever encounter. And you think they finna deal with a masculine woman? Look what he tell you in Proverbs 25. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Now, why would you think that he would have the need to tell you it's better for you to dwell in the corner of your house, of a roof, of a house? It's better for you to dwell in the corner of a roof than to be around here dealing with your brawling woman. Come over here to Proverbs 21 and 19. Hey, it's not playtime and you know it. This ain't your first rodeo. Amariah, sit down. Joy, sit down. Put them toys down. Put them away. Stop being disrespectful. Proverbs 21 and 19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. So y'all let it be known it's better for you to not do this at all than to mess with a man. Because if you're a brawling, angry woman, that's masculine traits.
Let's go.
Proverbs chapter 7. That man ain't on that. He don't hold that in high regard. Proverbs 7:1. All this is just showing you of what you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments. Keep my commandments and live. My Torah is the apple of thine eye. Bind them upon your fingers and write them upon the table of your heart. See unto wisdom thou art my sister. Call understanding your kinswoman. That they may keep thee from the strange woman, and from the stranger which flatter with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement. Listen what he say. And beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youth a man void of understanding. So he sat back and he said, I'm looking out my window. I see somebody, he don't really got no understanding. Listen what say he happens. Passing through the street near to her corner, he went the way to her house. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night, behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot, subtle of heart. Now notice it said a woman of the attire of a harlot. That goes back, come on back to 1 Peter chapter 3. What does that reiterate? And then we'll grab 1 Timothy 2 and 9. What does that reiterate? First Peter chapter 3, verse 3. From 1 Peter 3 and 3, we go to 1 Timothy 2 and 9, and from 1 Timothy 2 and 9, Isaiah chapter 3. It says, well, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of the plaiting of the hair, or wearing of gold, or putting on of apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet ruach, which is in the sight of Elohim of great price. For after this manner in the old time, because God's women also who trust in Elohim adorn themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. So what have we taken from this? He said he's seen this woman dressed in the attire of a harlot. She's concerned about if she dressed like a whore or dressed to gain attention.
Leave him.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at a woman who is of Elohim, she's not dressed looking to gain attention, because she doesn't put any stock on how she appears outwardly. It doesn't mean that she doesn't keep her appearance up. Doesn't mean I don't care about how my hair looks or how my outfit looks. I'm not going to allow pride to seep in because of these things that I'm adorning myself with. Because it said that this woman was subtle of heart, which means she's crafty. When you look at a lot of women who are masculine, they're very, very sly and trying to deceive a man to get this man to do what it is that they want him to do. You know what I'm saying? Which is, pause. Let's look at another masculine woman since it came to my head. Before we go to 1 Timothy 2 and Isaiah 3, come over here to Genesis, right? And look at this masculine woman over here. And look what she did. Not only is she a wicked woman, but she's a masculine woman. Low down and dirty. Genesis 37. 39 actually. My apologies. 39 and 5. And it came to pass from that time that he made him an overseer in his house, and over all that he had. Yes, but this is not the time. Sorry, this is not the time. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, over all that he had, that Yahuwah baruched the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the baruching of Yahuwah was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not all he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. It came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, "Lie with me." But he refused. So the first thing that we see right here is a man who is not willing to compromise his values and his standard for self-gratification. Also, he knows that this woman has power over him, and she has the ability to do things to him, but he won't do it. Look what he said. But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, "Behold, my master walked not what it is with me in the house, and he committed all that he had in my hand. There is none greater in this house than I. Neither have he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against Elohim?" And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or to be with her. So this is not just a one-time thing. Right. She consistently came at this man. Why? Because she's a harlot and she's subtle of heart. Whole time you laid up with keepers of home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Elohim be not blasphemed. So a feminine woman, so these older women are supposed to teach these younger women how to be feminine. Do you see how this works? And they say that if a woman is feminine, she gonna have to be sober, meaning